Can't say we live.
Alright, no sir. Alright, so yeah, Shalom. Yahweh Shabbat to my brother, to my sister, Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Thunber, Shalom Shai. I'm prison officer Galwan here in the ISUPK in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? And we are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, you have been teaching the truth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Indians. Right? Because the Native Indians were slaves just as us. The Hispanic people were slaves just as us. Right? So today we're going to pull out a little bit of history and know the Spanish slavery as well as the Native Indians and them, how they was in slavery. Right? We're going to pull out a little brief history about that to show you all that why it is the ISUPK keeps saying blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Indians, we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. And we are alone on the face of the earth as black people. No other race black. The East Indians not black, the Chinese not black, the Arabs not black, nobody else black except us. Right? So what's an article there? Chat. Right. Alright, so first slavery in Egypt. You go just hold Exodus 1 and 10. Alright, so now black people in the Americas, we are the real Jews. Right? When I say the Americas, if you look up a map today and you look at the Americas today, the Americas is the new world, which is on the western hemisphere of the earth. Right? The Americas is considered Colombia, Brazil, Canada, the United States, Trinidad, Puerto Rico, you have Cuba, we in the Caribbean here, Jamaica, you understand? All of we Brazil, Argentina, Chile. This side of the earth is the western hemisphere. We is considered the Americas. You understand? And we in the Americas say we are the real Jews. You understand? Again, if you look at the triangular of slavery, or the transatlantic slave ship, it took us from the west coast of Africa, brought us to the Americas, then they gone back again, you know, we put some slaves in England and whatnot, but it was a whole triangular shape. Right? The majority of us went into the Americas. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? When Christopher Columbus went into the Americas, he saw the Native Indians there. The Spanish conquistadors, when they went to the side of the earth, they saw the Native Indians and they enslaved them. You understand? So we black people, we in the Americas, we are the real Jews at the Bible. You understand? That saying that Jesus Christ is some white boy, what the Christian pastor does say, that is a lie. Jesus Christ is not a white boy. Jesus Christ is a black man from the tribe of Judah, and he only came for the lost 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? He didn't come for no other race but the lost 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? And the scariest thing to a black man today is not drugs or guns or a rival gang. Like, you know, down here, you know, we are rival gangs. They say they are at peace. I mean, you still see people dying. You still see people dying. You understand? I mean, they really hoping and truly hope they're really at peace. You understand? And all this bloodshed really stop. But if they say they're at peace, well, no sign Christ, you know, they're at peace. That's a start. The next thing all I do to really remain in peace is to come into the ISUPK. You understand? All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who in them ABG gang, who in ISIS unruly gang, who in Rasta City, all black people who in those gangs all come into the ISUPK, and then all go really stop this bloodshed amongst each other. Every day you're seeing every day is some bloodshed. If a black man get gunned down, he gets stabbed in the neck, somebody run a car over him, is too much. And the Lord is cursing us, or the Lord is paying judgment on us. You know, and it's just a punishment. The Lord is punishing us because we keep sinning against Him. Why we keep sinning against Him? Because we keep going in those religions. Every race on the face of you have their own identity and their own culture, their own language, their own God. You go into the East Indian community, they have their own culture, their language. They just worship Shiva or Mother Lakshmi or some goat or some cow. They have their own God, their own culture, language. Same thing with the Arabs. The Arabs is the true Muslims. So now them people down here who feel there's Muslims. Muslims own them own the oil and gas. Them in the Middle East, them Arabs and them own the oil and gas. So the Muslims down here who feel there's Muslims, they're not really Muslim. If it was a true Muslim, would have owned the oil and gas. Right? He's not a true Muslim. Right? It's just a black man who lost his identity, so he just taking a religion, seeing it as his own. But no, if we keep doing that, the Lord is going to keep punishing us. Because their God is not our God. Our God is the true God on the face of the earth. Our God is doing miracles, powers. And I mean, just look at the curses. The curses only adding up to black people alone. Blacks and Hispanic. You understand? If you look, who going through suffering right now is, besides the black people from Silox and John and Labrie, the Venezuelans going through a punishment right now. Those Venezuelans going in Colombia, Mexico, they're going through a punishment right now, just like we black people. Because why? The Mexicans and the Venezuelans, they are our brothers. They are black people too, just like us. You understand? But during slavery, the white man taught us the Mexicans is not our brothers. The Venezuelans is not our brothers. But they are black people just like us. That's why the curse is only adding up to us alone. So you're going to bring out our history showing how they came from the West Coast Africa too. And the white man had them enslaved and forced them to speak Spanish. You understand? So, as I was saying before, you know, the most scariest thing or the most frighteningest thing for a black man is none of guns or drugs or rival gangs. The most scary thing for a black man is to know that he is an Israelite. He is the true Jew of the Bible. That is the most scariest thing to a black man. You understand? Why is the most scary thing to a black man? Because now he know that he has responsibilities. You know, he know now that he has something to do. He now has something to do. You understand? And the things that he used to do before, he can't do it. He can't be getting drunk and falling out of the side of the road. He can't be going to the strip club anymore. He has responsibilities now. You know, he can't be a drug dealer. You understand? He know he has things to do now. But if he was not an Israelite, he could have done what he wants. But hearing that he's an Israelite now, and he have laws to follow, that is the most scariest thing to a black man. But it's the truth. The truth is, black man, you are the true Jew of the Bible. According to the Bible, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? No, it might be the most scariest thing to all about. All I had to hear the truth. Look at what government Nick Cannon, as soon as Nick Cannon heard the truth, as soon as Nick Cannon spoke the truth, you understand? Viacom just fired him. Why Viacom did that? Because Viacom don't want us to know the truth. Because once you know the truth, and we start to follow the laws of the Bible, which is not eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, our God will come back, he will be with us, and we won't be oppressed anymore. The other races will be oppressed now. Right now, the other races are not oppressed. The Chinese now oppressed, the white man now oppressed, the Africans now oppressed. But we who came off the slave ships, we are alone oppressed, no race oppressed. You understand? So yeah, the Church of the Exodus 1 and
Book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 10. Come on, let us deal with them wisely. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Right? So what's going on here, they were saying that we should come out of the land because we were so big and so mighty. You know, so there was plenty of us. They say nah. They started to get frightened, or the Egyptians started to get frightened, or the Africans started to get frightened and say, nah, boy, we had to get them up here out of the land, boy. Because who knows, you might have an enemy. The Africans say, who knows? You might have an enemy, and those Israelites might join with the enemy and come after us. So now, but we had to get them up off the land here, but we had to oppress them. We had to oppress them Israelites. You understand? So yeah, go ahead.
Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Right? So they're saying they are set upon them taskmaster. Right? So a taskmaster is a master who makes sure you carry out your task. Or in other words, you know, is a supervisor. That is what it is. In other words, is a supervisor. Right? To afflict them. Yeah, what you were saying? Start over again.
Book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
To afflict them with their burdens, right? So to afflict them, you know, the supervisor now he afflicting you, so you're saying, all right, you can't leave home, you know, or you can't you have to come on time, you know, you cannot have a day off, or you can't have a raise in salary, you know, you're afflicting them, right? With afflicting them with what?
Their burdens.
Afflicting them with their burdens, right? So you know that their burdens is like the things that they have to do to eat, you know, or the things they have to do to put a roof over their head. You know, all blacks and Hispanics burdens today is like, you know, you have to pay a car bill, you know, that is a burden. So, you know, you have to pay a house bill, the internet, water bill. You know, so all those things is like the burdens to the things that we had to do to survive, pay rent, mortgage. You understand? So we being afflicted in our burdens. You understand? That is what's going on. We being afflicted in our burdens. What happens in Egypt, it happening today right now on the face of it. What happening in Egypt. You understand? So the next one is the whole, yeah, just the whole of the for now. I have an article in the group chat. Put it up, right? Right, so the same thing was happening in Egypt. It's happening right now, you know, and in like like in the United States, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about the Spanish conquistadors and them enslaving the Brazilians and all of them, right? Carrying them into the Americas and put them in Brazil and force them to speak Spanish, right? But before we get into that, again, you know, the same thing was happening in Egypt, happening now in the Americas. One good example is the United States, you know, the religion or the founding of the founders of America was Freemason, right? So like George Washington and all of those murderers and them, they was Freemasons, right? And the philosophy of the Freemasons was the philosophy of the Freemasons was builders of the Temple of Horus, right? Or the all-seeing eye, right? That all-seeing eye, it is on the back of the American $1 bill, right? And only one nation on the face of the earth is known for having pyramids, right? Because on the back of that $1 bill is a pyramid with the all-seeing eye, Right? Only one nation on the face of the earth is known for having pyramids. Right? And of course, that is the Egyptians and them. Right? So why would the American currency, right, or the United States currency have an Egyptian pyramid on it? Right? It's because they're telling you that we worship Egypt. Right? Because the same thing that was going on in Egypt is the same thing that is going on right here now in the Americas. Right? They're afflicting us with our burdens. They're afflicting us. You understand? And next thing, the Washington Monument. Right? The Washington Monument was originally created in Egypt. Right? It is a obelisk. It is an obelisk. Right? And it laid out all the life of every king and emperor in Egypt. Right? So they use an Egyptian stone to represent George Washington, because they're telling you the same thing, that we represent George Washington like an Egyptian pharaoh. Right? It's the same thing. Right? Every other prominent leader does stand up. Every other prominent leader is standing up, but not Abraham Lincoln. That's our next one. Right? Every prominent leader does be standing up, but not Abraham Lincoln. Right? He was sitting down because there was a king in Egypt who was oppressing black people. You understand? There was a king in Egypt who was oppressing black people, and his name is Ramesses II. Right? Ramesses II. He was oppressing black people in Egypt. Right? Now remember, not because we are the same skin complexion means we all is the same race. No. Because the East Indians have the same complexion just as them in Africa, but nobody says the East Indians is African. The East Indians is a different class to them. The Africans are a different class to them. So why it is we saying we is African? Skin complexion don't make you who he is. You understand? So again, those people in Egypt, they know we was different to them, because why? Everywhere we go, the Israelites used to carry their laws, their statutes. Everywhere we go, we used to carry it. You understand? So they know who we was. Right? So that Ramesses II, he was oppressing black people in Egypt. Right? And when you go to Egypt and you do the research, the archaeology, that one king who was Ramesses, he was sitting down instead of standing up. Ramesses II. He wasn't standing up like them other kings, he was sitting down. Right? And if you want to what we always tell those Egyptologists, those conscious community, you understand, those black people who like to always say, let me go back in Africa, that we roots stay in Africa. You understand? If you really want to understand and study Egypt, don't study the gold and pharaoh and them thing. Study the slaves in Egypt. That's what I need to do. I need to study the slaves in Egypt. Don't go and study the kings. Study the slaves in Egypt. Right? Because once you do that, you're going to know that you was a slave in Egypt. And the same way how you was a slave in Egypt, is a slave just here, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? The same slavery that was going on in Egypt, if you do research, right here in Trinidad and Tobago, we were slaves the same way as those slaves was in Egypt. You understand? And once you get to know that, you'll get to understand that you is a Hebrew Israelite. Right? And the Egyptians, they knew who they was. The Egyptians knew if they had God's chosen people. You understand? The Egyptians knew if they had God's chosen people in slavery, they would rule the earth. You understand? The Egyptians know that. 4,000 years ago, the Egyptians, you understand, was the number one superpower on the earth. The Egyptians was the number one superpower on the earth. Today, who is the number one superpower on the earth? The so-called white man. You understand? The so-called white man, he is the number one superpower on the earth. So if all really want all like Egyptology or like Kemet or the conscious community, go and study the slaves in Egypt. And all will see that hey, the same slaves in Egypt is the same slaves what going on here in the Americas, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Brazil, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, Guyana, Puerto Rico, United States, all go see is the same slaves that was in Egypt. And you know, some people might say never had slavery in Egypt, but again, we in the school under Command and General Yohana, you know, we did our research, and it has something called a cartouche. A cartouche is an identity, is like an identity tag or a metal, a cartouche, right? Something like identity tag or a metal, a cartouche. Right, it have with writings from top to the bottom of it, right? It's like a dog tag, right? Like a dog tag, and it will have your name on it, right? So now, in the Egyptian history, a broken cartouche represents a slave or a captive. Right, so again, you look at go and do up that research. You understand? A broken cartouche represents a slave or a captive. Do your research in Egypt, you will see that something called a broken cartouche. Once you see that, you know it had a slave or a captive. Now a broken cartouche represents. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and swap.
Slavery in the Spanish America colonies was an economic and social institution which existed throughout the Spanish Empire.
Right, so let's see. Right, so they're saying slavery in the Spanish American colonies. It was something economic and social institution which existed throughout the Spanish Empire in its American territories. Right? Go ahead.
It initially bound indigenous people and later individuals of African origin.
Right, so it initially bound the indigenous people and later individuals of the African origin, right? So, of course, this person they didn't really know no better, so they're saying the African origin, but it's really the slaves in Africa, right? The indigenous people was the native Indians, right? So this slavery, it initially bound the native Indians, and then later the people from the West Coast Africa, the Israelites. They took the Israelites from the West Coast Africa and they brought them into the Americas again and enslaved them. Right? So this is what we're talking about. So the Americas had slavery, the indigenous people who they found here. So when the Spanish conquistadors came into the Americas, they saw the indigenous people who was the native Indians. Those were the 10 tribes who had left. So when the kingdom had split, those were the 10 tribes that had left and went into the world that nobody knew. They went into the land that no man dwelled. Nobody was there except the native Indians. They was the first people to come across into the Western Hemisphere, into the Americas. Right? So the Spanish people now enslaved the native Indians, then after went into the West Coast Africa, got the other Hebrew slaves, the other Israelites, bring them across into the Americas and enslave them too. Right? That's what it's saying here. This is slavery in the colonial Spanish America. That is what we're reading from now. Go ahead.
The Spanish progressively restricted and outright forbade the enslavement of Native Americans.
Go ahead.
In the early years of the Spanish Empire, with the laws of Boreas in 1512, and the new law in 1543.
Right? So after they enslaved the native Indians, a little while now they say, well, all right, well, just like how slavery was abolished in Trinidad here was 1838. After a while, they wanted to, ease up the enslavement of the native Indians. So they had some laws that they had passed, which was the laws of Burgo and the new laws. Those was in 1512 and 1543. Right? So we will talk a little bit about that in another class, right? It's so much right now. But after a while, they wanted to ease up the burden or the enslavement of the native Indians, right? But of course, today you could see nothing ease up. Not for blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians, we still slaves, right? We still slaves under all the races on the face of you, right? So yeah, go ahead.
The later led to the abolition of the encomienda, private grants of groups of Native Americans to individual Spaniards and the mestizo.
Right, so the encomienda now, right? This one, let me get it correct. Yeah, the encomienda, the latter led to the abolition of the encomienda, right? Private grants of groups of Native Americans to individual Spaniards and the mestizo descendants, right? So the encomienda now, what is that? Let me see. They're saying the encomienda, right? The encomienda, if I pronounce that correct. Encomienda, right? They say that was a Spanish labor system that rewarded conquerors with the labor of particular groups of conquered non-Christian people, right? So again, these conquerors, the Spanish conquerors, right? They was rewarded with labor, right, of particular groups of the conquered non-Christian people. So what they're talking about, they're talking about the native Indians. The encomienda was a Spanish labor system that rewarded these Spanish conquistadors, right, with the native Indians. That's what they're trying to say here, right? They gave them groups of conquered non-Christian people. The native Indians, they was not Christian. They was not Christian. It was Christopher Columbus and them and the Spanish conquistadors. They was Christians. And so the non-Christian people who was conquered, they was given them as a reward for labor. Right? So it's saying now the laborers, who is the native Indians in theory, were provided with benefits by the conquerors from whom they labored. Right? They were provided with benefits by the conquerors from whom they labored. Right? Well, we're going to see what is the benefits. The Catholic religion being a principal benefit. Right? So them saying now one of the benefits that they gave the native Indians was Christianity. Right? Or the Catholic religion. Christianity. That was one of the benefits. You understand? And the encomienda. You understand? If you all knew how they force us into Christianity. We don't just come and they making it sound as though as if they come and they put me to sit down and say, all right, 1 and 1 is 2, or this and this is that. No. They force us, they beat us. Because we couldn't even speak Spanish. So they had to beat you into speaking Spanish. Force the native Indians to speak Spanish. Then after force them into Christianity. You understand? That is one of the benefits that they say that the native Indians get. You understand? They just trying to make it sound nice and trying to make it sound pretty. but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't nice. It wasn't pretty. It was a very sad and depressive state that the native Indians was in, who the Spanish conquistadors enslaved in the Americas. You understand? Let me see if we have more here. Right? They say the encomienda was first established in Spain following the Christian conquest of Moorish territories. Right? It was applied on a much larger scale during the Spanish colonization of the Americas and the Spanish Philippines. Right? So the Spanish had colonized the Americas. Right? I believe it's called in Latin America, because you know it has a certain part where it was prominent in, and they call it Latin America. It was the same Western Hemisphere, it just was Latin America where everything was just Spanish. You know, so at a point in time in history, the Spanish they was one of the prominent people on here. They had almost rule you, they could say. Basically, the Spanish and them. It was one of the world powers. Right? Then after, you know, the English came and they ruled after. Right? So it's saying here now, the conquered peoples were considered vassals of the Spanish monarch. You understand? The crown awarded an encomienda as a grant to a particular individual. In the conquest era of the 16th century, the grants were considered to be a monopoly on the labor of particular groups of indigenous people held in a perpetuity by the grant holder, right, and his or her descendants, right? So you will get a little more into that from the next class. Is plenty I want to get into here now. Swap, which part are you swap? To continue. Yeah.
Private grants of groups of Native American individuals, Spaniards, and their mestizos descendants, and the implementation of the new laws and liberation of tens of thousands of Native Americans led to a number of rebellions and conspiracies by the encomenderos, and in brackets, so encomienda holders, which had to put down by the Spaniards' crown Asians or Chinos in colonial Mexico had the same status of Native Americans and thus were forbidden to be enslaved by law.
Right, so you're saying here now the Native Indians led to a number of rebellions and conspiracies. You understand? Because of course they're saying these laws forbid them of being enslaved or whatnot, but they was oppressed. You force them to speak Spanish, and after you force them into Christianity. You understand? That is slavery. You understand? That is slavery. You understand? So those Native Indians who the Spanish conquistadors found in the Americas, they had rebellions. You understand? There was all in Mexico they passing the law, because all in Mexico the Spanish conquistadors and them was, right? Because Mexico, all of them was the whole Western Hemisphere. Alright, so yeah, go ahead.
Spain had a predestined for slavery as an institution science. It had existed in Spain itself since the time of the Roman Empire. Slavery also existed among Native Americans, both of the Mesoamerica and South America.
Right, so both Mesoamerica and South America, right? I mean, South America is down here. Trinidad and Tobago is part of South America. You know, the Latin America, all is South America, right? So you see, Spain had a precedent for slavery as an institution since it had existed in Spain itself since the times of Roman Empire. Slavery also existed amongst the Native Americans or the Native Indians, right, of both Mesoamerica and South America, right? So slavery existed, I want to now say here, slavery also existed among the Native Americans, right, both in Mesoamerica and South America, right? So it had slavery in South America with the Native Indians, slavery as well in the Mesoamerica, right? So go ahead. Yeah.
As you're going through this history as well, it goes to show that not only as a quote unquote like the scholars Africans were the slavery, it goes to show that these other brothers were the Native Americans and also the Hispanics and was in slavery as well.
Right, so that is true. Right, all of them was in slavery. That is to show how we all are one race.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Indians. Because we all went through slavery. Right? The other races they went through slavery, like how we went through. We lost everything, language, culture, you know, they forced you to speak their language, they forced you into worshiping their God. You know, so no other race went through that except blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right? So the Native Indians, the Caribbean Arawaks, right here in Trinidad, the first peoples, they was in slavery too. Just as us. Again, that's why the ISUPK have been teaching the truth since 1969. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Alright, so yeah, go ahead.
Attempted to limit the bondage of indigenous people, rejecting slavery based on race.
Right, so now the Spanish and them, they attempted to limit the bondage. They said limit. They didn't say take away, they said limit the bondage of the Native Indians or the indigenous people. Right, the people who they found here on this land, the original. Right? And it was like rejecting slavery based on race. Go ahead.
Spaniards regarded indigenous forced labor and tribute as rewards for participation in the conquest, and the crown gave some conquerors encomiendas. Formerly, the indigenous people held in encomienda were not slaves, but their labor was mandatory and perceived. With the collapse of indigenous populations in the Caribbean, where Spaniards created permanent settlement starting in 1493.
Right, so they say now the indigenous now, they was not slaves, but their labor was mandatory. You understand? So that is slavery there, because they were slaves just like us. They didn't work and get paid. There was promise, but the promise never fall through. Whoever promised them land, all kind of thing promised them, but he never fall through with his promise. You know, so again, as just say, yes, I was on some.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, just you want to get kind of expound a little more on it, with the part of the race. So it goes to show now where these individuals, you know, when they came in now, and like how they draw reference with race now, how we take it now, we different from one another. And as they read now, as they see now, where they know some of them they draw the reference, or they not slave. So we're using like we draw for reference the Hispanic and the Native Indians. For these two different race applications. race yard in between now to make it like two of these different race. You know, as you know, all forefathers came in now. I'll show you that when our forefathers came on the slave route as well, they already had a race card within their system to show them that they're different from one another.
Yeah. Right, but we always the same. Right, but it's only in slavery the white man make us feel that, you know, we's different race of people. You know, let's see what else, you know, so I can comment. Yeah, just right. It's only the white man make us thought that we's different race of people, but you know, we's the same race. You know, so all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we's the same race. So this is what we're going to be bringing out here tonight to show that, you know, the Spanish conquistadors and them, they came into the Americas. You know, and they came into the Americas and they saw the Native Indians and they had them as slaves. Right, yeah, no so. Right. So yeah, so again okay, look up the word. I know because we are from the COERCED.
COE.
RCED.
COERED.
RCED. Yeah. And the labor was mandatory and coerced. Right?
See.
Yeah. Forced. Yeah. What else?
Persuade, right? An unwilling person, so line just in brackets, right? To do something by using force or threats.
So to do something by force or threats, right? So that is slavery then. Right? So they say now the indigenous people held in the encomienda were not slaves, but the labor was mandatory and were forced. You understand? That is slavery. You understand? Those was the Native Indians at first. You understand? At first, those was the Native Indians who was in slavery. Right? The Carib and the Arawaks in Trinidad, the first peoples. All that was in slavery. The Wahoo Nation. All that was in slavery. You understand? As we bring it out here, all is part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Yeah, start with, we'll say right after that with the collapse of the indigenous population. Yeah. We say with the collapse, read which part you see now. We're saying with the collapse. Remember, you finish off at 1930.
Yes,
yeah.
Right. With the collapse of indigenous populations in the Caribbean, the Spaniards created permanent settlements starting in 1493.
Right, so the collapse of the indigenous population in the Caribbean. They say the Caribbean, the indigenous population, these where the slaves and them was. How did they have a collapse of the indigenous population? They was killing us out. They was killing out the Native Indians and them. You understand? They was killing the Native Indians and them. That is what the white man was doing. The Spanish conquistadors and them was doing in the Caribbean. You understand? The Native Indians who was here first in the Caribbean, in the Western Hemisphere, the Earth, or the Americas. They was in slavery by the Spanish. They are part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Continue.
Spaniards raided other islands
So the Spanish now raided other islands now. Go ahead.
and the mainland for indigenous people to bring to Hispaniola as slaves.
Right, and they raided the other islands and the other mainlands for the indigenous people or for the native Indians, because the indigenous people here in the Americas again is the native Indians. And they wanted them to bring them to Hispaniola as slaves. Again, the native Indians were slaves because they are part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Right, go ahead.
With the rice, sugar cultivation, and as export products, Spaniards increasingly utilized enslaved Africans for labor on commercial plantations.
Right, so now again, right, so now again, now this is where they were talking about here the transatlantic slave trade now, with the rise of this sugar cultivation. You understand? As an export product, the Spanish and them increasingly utilize the enslaved, well, they say in Africans, but of course it's the Israelites. It's not the Africans, it's the Israelites. For labor and commercial on the plantation. So apart from it was, in other words, the rise of the sugar cultivation was so much, they needed more slaves. They didn't need the native Indians alone. You know, so that is when they went to West Coast Africa and get some slaves, some more slaves, who's the Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
And brought them into the Americas as slaves, the Spanish and them, forced them to speak Spanish. You understand? So yeah, go ahead. We're gonna get more.
Yeah, so again, you could just expound on it as
Yeah, go ahead.
really highlight and maybe awareness of people. Like in these encyclopedias, just as Commanding General and what we know, it have a lot of truths in it, but based on propaganda, media, now, these people that who write this now, in order for them to really promote this, they must promote truths in it. So that's why they use words like African and not Israelites.
Right.
Knowing who it is.
Right. So yeah, that is what is saying, these people and them who they must use a little truth. Right? But again, they're trying to hide, they're trying their best to not make us know the truth. They go say African, or the indigenous people or whoever, make us feel that it's different races. But again, with the spirit of the Lord in 1969, we gather all the information and we get to understand we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
They can't hide it. The white man can't hide it. The curses match up to these races here, which means we is one. And we's not no African.
That's right.
You understand? So yeah, go ahead. I think it was
Although plantation slavery in Spanish America was one aspect of slave labor, urban slavery in households, religious institutions, textile workshop, and other venues were also important.
Right, so this one here, it kind of heavy because they say although the plantation slavery in the Spanish America, so we're already working on the field. They say although the plantation slavery in the Spanish America was one aspect of slave labor, they say that it also had the slavery in the household. Then the religious institution, that's another form of slavery, forcing us to speak, forcing us to be Christians. You understand? They say here, the religious institution, that was another form of slavery. That would be a step people come away from the Christian church. If you're still a Christian today, you're still a slave. The white man said it here, I'm plain and bold for you. The religious institution was a form of slavery. Textile workshop and other venues was also important. So not just the field alone they had us as slaves, the slavery in the mind. You understand? They made us slaves in the mind. Christianity is one of them.
Right.
You understand? So it's not just working in the field, it's other aspects the white man enslaved us in. I mean, all those TV shows at Viacom Power, you know, all those TV shows are making black people look bad. So when black people watch it now, of course, they go want to portray themselves like that image on TV. Because really for the young generation who growing up seeing TV shows like Menace to Society and all those TV shows that Viacom pushing out. You know, the black youths growing up. Of course, they must want to be a drug dealer, seeing those kind of TV shows. So the white man enslaved you in the mind as well as on the field. It was all types of slavery he had us in. So when you see black people today and they're angry and they're frustrated, a woman makes she child and she child in the labas. Is we still slaves. That's how the white man had us. He made us slaves in the mind. You understand? So that is why when you tell people to come out of the Christian church, you understand, that's so important. Because Christianity is the reason why you're still enslaved. Right, so yeah, go ahead.
Spanish slavery in the Americas diverged drastically from other European colonies in that it took an early abolitionist stance towards Native American slavery.
Right, so they're saying, you know, the abolitionists took a early stance in the native Indians or the Native American slavery, right? But of course, we still slaves because we just read once it's a Christian, you're still a slave. Right? And there's a lot of Native Indians, just like the first people here in Trinidad, they just still go to the church, the Catholic Church. They still slaves. You understand? They still slaves. So slavery ain't over for no blacks, Hispanics, or Native Indians. We still slaves. You understand? So yeah, good.
Although it did not directly partake in the transatlantic slave trade, black slaves were sold.
Yeah, go ahead.
Throughout the Spanish Empire, particularly in Caribbean territories.
Right, so now they're saying although it did not directly partake in the transatlantic slave trade, because of course when the Spanish conquistadors went into the Americas, that was for the Native Indians. Those was the 10 tribes that left Jerusalem and went into the land where no man dwelled. That was the Americas. So they was already in the Americas. So the Spanish conquistadors and them just went into the Americas and enslaved them. You know, and they was not in the West Coast Africa when the Israelites ran across into Africa. Running from the white man and his armies in Jerusalem. We ran across into Africa. The kingdom had split at a point in time. The 10 tribes had left and went into the Americas. So the Spanish conquistadors, when they went into the Americas, they saw the Native Indians. That is why they was not in the part of the transatlantic slave trade. Right? The Native Indians. Right? Because they was already here, but they were slaves. That is the main point. They were slaves, just like how we were slaves when they brought us here. We were slaves. Right? And also what I say, in the Caribbean territories. Right? So all you who are in the Caribbean territories, the Native Indians, is Caribbean Iraqs, First Peoples, who in Arima in Trinidad, always part of the Lost 12 Tribes of Asia, and all need to get into the ISUPK. Right? And stop going to the Christian church. Right? So yeah.
You know, even when I read this part now that black slaves were sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, even when I read higher up now, when they say that they took some of the indigenous people and took them back to Hispaniola. So as well, you see that now they as well, you know, were slaves just as they bring out. They as well were taken back on ships to show hey, yeah, we're going to have the people that we looking on this side. So as well as I say, they are now enslaved as well, trying to make it normal again. But this race thing a few different And as they're bringing out the little points earlier on, that the amount of things that they engross in their mind, that they would think that they are not sleeping forever, and they forget everything that the fathers them stand for, and the Sabbath for Christianity, all these things that the colonizer push on, the Spaniards push on.
Yeah, so your car against skin complexion was designed in slavery to make us believe that we is different race. Only in slavery, they say right, a lot of fight over skin complexion, so they created things that make you fight over skin complexion. You know, they make you like as slaves working in the house. So now the darker skin slaves who on the field picking cotton, they envious and want to fight. And that is where the skin complexion come out. Just like Vybz Kartel today, he want to bleach his skin because they go make him closer to the white man. And you know, he will get more money and more funding. You ain't really see no dark skinned person making all that money to the white man. You understand? That's just how it is. During slavery that had happened, and of course we scattered throughout all the four corners of the earth. But the majority, the masses came into the Western Hemisphere. The majority, the masses came here. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Yeah, we was again
particularly after this happened through this function.
Right, yeah, go ahead.
Particularly in Caribbean territories, this trade helped transfer American wealth to Europe and promoted racial heresies.
Right, go ahead.
Castas. Throughout the empire, Spanish enslavers justified their wealth and status earned at the work of the mines and the expense of captive workers by considering them inferior beings who limited capacities and holding them as personal property.
Well, yes, only.
Often under barbarous condition.
Right, so we was under barbarous conditions. So I could imagine how we was under those Native Indians, and then we could imagine how they was under barbarous conditions. Just like how all of us who was in slavery was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And of course they made Europe get wealth, as I say, you know, they transfer the wealth to Europe. You understand? Because we here in the Americas was in slavery. They enslaved us. We picked their sugar, their cotton. We do all kind of work for them in the plantation, and they carry back their wealth to Europe. Right? That we just always see the Queen of England, she's sitting on a gold mine because of the slaves. And we did all of that, and they had us, they're treating us under barbarous conditions. You understand? We're working for free. We ain't getting nothing. You know, so we was considered property, not human beings. Property we was considered to be, or animals. You know, and we made them get rich and wealthy. Go ahead.
Like I said, like they say, savages.
Savages, right? I believe that what the Indians means, savage. They are calling Native Indians or the native savage. Or the white man has called them. You understand? Good.
Spanish colonization set some rigorous records for slavery.
Right. Egregious records for slavery. Somebody look up that word. Somebody look up that word. What that word mean? I think that word means something like, you know, gruesome, evil, or something at that level. Bad, you know. Why is it looking fit? I'm so happy to go ahead and
The Asiento,
yeah, good. Asiento.
the official contractor for trading slaves in the vast Spanish territories, was a major engine for the Atlantic slave trade.
Right, so the Asiento was the official contract for trading in slaves in the vast Spanish territories, was the major engine for the Atlantic slave trade. Now the Asiento, we want to go into that next time. We're going to Barak.
Yeah, so I can say, meaning I would.
Right.
Outstandingly bad, shocking.
So outstandingly bad and shocking. So in other words, they're saying the Spanish colonization was outstandingly bad. It set some outstandingly bad or shocking records for slavery. You understand? So you can imagine what those native Indians and what those people in Brazil and Colombia and Mexico and things went through. They went through the same hardship just as us. Because while we all are part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel, you understand? Those people had it bad just as us had it bad. You understand? Because those Spanish conquistadors was white people. Just as how the British and them is white people and how they enslaved us. You understand? All our records was bad. It was shocking. If you hear the kind of things that they used to do to us, they used to boil us in sugar vats. When we complain, they throw in the sugar pot and boil we alive. It was shocking. You understand? It was something very bad. Right? So the Asiento now, this is they say this was our official contract for trading in slaves in the vast Spanish territories. Now the Asientos, as I said before, we gotta get into that in another class. It's so much, this topic, it's so much. The Asiento was like a banking contract where they used to do like a small term loan deal to the Spanish crown. Right? So they go have like a loan. The bankers will have like a loan with the Spanish crown or the Spanish Empire. And they would take black slaves from the west coast of Africa and enslave them and make them work as part of the deal. It has something called the Asiento, the Negroes. I know that we go come up in another class, but this Asiento was just for that. That's what they talk about. It was the engine for the Atlantic slave trade. So now we see here now, the Spanish and them went into the west coast of Africa, got some Hebrew Israelites as slaves and brought them back into the Americas as slaves. That's what the Asiento was about. It was just a contract. But again, we could gain more into it. Go ahead. So
when Spain first enslaved Native Americans on Hispaniola and then replaced them with captive Africans, it established on free labor as the base for colonial mass production.
Right, so again, they're saying Africans because then what we know the truth, but it's not Africans, we are Hebrew Israelites. Africans enslaved, that is a lie. All the Africans sold the Hebrew Israelites enslaved and they reaped the benefits of it. If we are Africans, as the world will say, then why hasn't the African left Africa with the guns and ammunition, come across and start a war with the white man and start a war with the East Indians who are oppressing black people here in Trinidad and Tobago? Why they didn't do that? It's because the Africans know that we are not African. That is why they never do it. You understand? You could imagine you have a race being oppressed for 400 years. You understand? For 400 years, you've seen your race being oppressed. You understand? You might make up an excuse and talk about the apartheid. Well, the apartheid only happened in a certain part of Africa. You understand? So, okay, so the apartheid done now. White is all and get all the guns and ammunition and come across. You understand? And say, you East Indians stop oppressing black people. Because all is not African and all know we is not African. We are the Hebrew Israelites. And you, the Africans, sold us into slavery. But the truth coming out. You understand? It's coming out. You understand? You see the leaders and them now say, when I see the leaders, like the stars then, celebrities, like Nick Cannon, or the Master P, everybody coming out and saying it now, we is the Israelites. You understand? So yeah, which part it was? Right. When the Spanish first and say the native Indians on Hispaniola, and then we place them with the captive Africans, right? Go ahead.
It established on free labor as base for colonial mass production. Subsequently, in the mid-19th century, when most countries in the Americas reformed to disallow cattle slavery, Cuba and Puerto Rico, the last two remaining Spanish-American colonies, maintained slavery the longest.
Right, so they're saying Cuba and Puerto Rico maintained slavery the longest. There was the Spanish-American territories. So we see here now, slavery was blacks. That's why we just always keep saying is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We just say that so all could understand what we mean when we say the Hispanic. Hispanic is people in Puerto Rico, Cuba, the Spanish-speaking territory. Yes, and as we saw, even the Native Indians and all was forced to speak Spanish. Yes, and it talk a little bit more, but we're going to get it on another class. But I give me Exodus 1 and 11, if we could. Right, Exodus 1 and 11. Alright, so again, as I said in another class, we're going to get more about it, but you know, the people of Venezuela, they are part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel. They are the Asherites according to the Bible. You understand? You are the Asherites according to the Bible. You understand?
Book of Exodus 1 and 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Right, so they put over supervisors to afflict us with our burdens. Right, go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Right, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. Meaning what? Meaning they build cities that make money for Pharaoh. So in other words, you know, okay, right here in Trinidad, the slaves built Trinidad. Port of Spain was built by the slaves. We built Port of Spain for Pharaoh. We built Port of Spain for the white man. You understand? We built Port of Spain. We built the Central Bank. You understand? We built all those Frederick Street. We have all those businesses. We built there. You understand? We because by the cathedral, the Port of Spain, they was just water. We how the waters call it when they paint land over the water. Backfilling, yeah. We backfill all of that. By the cathedral in Port of Spain, the slaves backfill all of that to make people get businesses now. We build cities to make Pharaoh and them get money. That's what we did here in Trinidad. So I'm giving Genesis 43 and 32. Genesis 43 and 32. And those Africans, they was racist. Those Africans was racist against the Israelites. They was racist. Them Africans and them know that we is not African. They know we is Israelites. That is why they're racist against us. You understand? You have it? Genesis 43 and 32.
Genesis chapter 43 and verse 32.
And they set, Genesis chapter 43 and verse 32, and they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews.
Right, so they set on him by himself, you understand? So they put him by himself. This is also about Joseph, right? They didn't want to eat with Joseph. You understand? The Egyptians didn't want to eat with Joseph. So they put him by himself, right? And for the Egyptians. So they split up the Egyptian by themselves and him by himself, right? Which part it was? Because, get again?
Because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews.
Right, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews. That is racism. You understand? So the Africans was racist against us here in Trinidad. Those Africans know that we is not Africans. That's why they was racist against us. They know we is the children of Israel. You understand? And the Africans, those Egyptians and them, all other people who like Kemet and Egyptology, that is racism. So all I want to go back in Africa, they call. Right now they're calling people to go back in Africa. All go. They might kill all of them. So all go ahead in Africa. All seeing right here, the most prominent book or the most outstanding book, what you want to say, on the face of the earth is the Bible. That book gives you all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all the laws, it teaches you how to bathe. This book here, the Bible, it teaches you everything. But again, you won't understand the Bible unless you come into the ISUPK under Commanding General Hand. So all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are get into the ISUPK under Commanding General Hand. Itamori Amsha?
For that is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
Right, because that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. If you look up abomination, it means like a hatred and a disgust. The Africans looked at the Hebrew Israelites with a hatred and a disgust. That is how they looked at us. That is racism. We is not Africans, we is Hebrew Israelites. That's why the Africans sold us into slavery. They sold us. You understand? But I think it hold Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2. There's a small scripture in that. You understand? So just like how back in the day, we couldn't go into white people businesses, sit down and eat with them. Those white people was racist against us. Well, same thing, those Africans are racist against us. Slavery in Egypt was one of the famous events that happened in the Bible. So was the white man's slavery. His slavery was one of the most famous events that happened on the earth. He made us forget everything. Just as how the slavery in Egypt was one of the most famous events. When Moses had to come and kill the firstborn, they sent plagues. You understand? It was one of the most famous events that happened, just as how the white man's slavery was one of the most famous events. You understand? Go ahead, Barrett, let me hear Joel chapter 2. Start at verse 5. See time.
The book
start at verse 5.
of Joel 2 and verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
Like a strong people set in battle array. So we're going to leap high onto the mountain tops. You understand? And we're going to have our people set in battle array. So we're going to prepare our people, train our men in the battle array. Alright? Go ahead.
Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness.
Right, so before their face, the people shall be much pain. Right, what I'm talking about there is the people that we coming to get. They are, how to say, they already going to be going through hell. The people who we coming to get, who is the heathens, they already going to be going through hell. And you know, and we're coming for them. You know, so I can remember the whole family, the whole race just got wiped out or destroyed. You know, so all the heathens and them, the white man, the Chinese, the East Indians, the African, the whole family, the whole race don't get wiped out. So, you know, so when we coming for them now, they go already be going through hell. So we gonna be see that, you know, the pain already. You know, we gonna still be coming for them. You know, the face gonna be, you know, with blackness. They be suffering. You know, all that hell they're going through. They already see the whole race and family die and destroy. Now they see we coming for them now, running like horses. Coming for them. You understand? Go ahead.
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war.
Right, so we're going to run like mighty men. We're going to climb the wall like men of war. So, you know, we're going to climb them here to order. You know, so we're going to be climbing the walls like nothing. Right? What Joel is speaking about here is what is going to happen in the last days. Right after World War III, when all of the heathens get wiped out and destroyed, this is what Joel is telling us is what's going to happen. We're going to be like zombies. Just like in those zombie movies where a zombie cat dead, but coming to kill and hunt, we're going to be like them zombies. You understand? We're going to be climbing the walls. You understand? Like nothing. Again, just like in them zombie movies, you know. Nowhere you go, nobody's going to be safe. Because we come and fail. Go ahead.
And they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
Right, and they shall not break their ranks, right? That is important, you know. They shall not break their ranks. So what I'm talking about, you know, wars is won and lost by your ranks. So we will not break our ranks, you know. We will not, how to say, we will not betray. We will not have a betrayal in our ranks, right? So you can't cost you, because by having like a betrayal in the ranks, it will cost you the whole war. By having betrayal in the ranks, it will cost you the whole war, right? So we won't break the ranks. We won't have no betrayal in the ranks, because that will cost you the whole war. You know, ranks is very important. You know, if you break it, the Lord is going to make an example out of you, your family, your dog, the cat, etc. As you know what happened in the Bible when you know the person didn't obey the rules and everybody was lost in the war. Then they had to stop the war and find out, hey, who's the man sin? Who's the person then? What happened? Then they get to find out and they make an example out of it. Right? So we won't break the ranks. You understand? Go ahead.
Neither shall one trust another.
Neither shall one trust one another. So again, this is talking about what will happen in the last days after World War III. Right? So after World War III, everything don't get destroyed and wiped out. We're going to hunt. We're going to be like horses. We will climb walls. We will be like zombies. We will not trust another. What are you talking about here? We will not trust one another. What are you talking about it? Anybody, when they say that, trust one another, what do you mean by that?
Let's say this boy, like, they ain't gonna take our man over, they're gonna take the order where it was set down. They're making sure that they get the order and take the order. Instead of like they're hearing it from like this person said and making sure wherever it is set they're going with that and hearing it from our brethren as well.
I mean, we shall not trust one another. That'll be different. Yeah. Anybody else want to try? What is it?
So, yeah, so.
We shall not trust. They shall trust another.
That is
Yeah. Neither shall one trust another. Go ahead.
Yes, okay, so that is like today how we have Rasta City and Muslim and both of them this same nation and they're fighting amongst themselves and killing up themselves. And that they don't have that. They will be fighting amongst themselves as a nation.
Right. It close to what you say. It close to what you say. Right? No, remember here, what going on here is an army we having. All of we is one. So, is not to say it had 2 armies or 3 armies. It's 1 army of the Lord, which is even in the ISGPK, the dead in Christ, you understand, and the others who maybe help Israel in wherever way of his funding or wherever. Israel is 1 army we have. And we know the enemies, the other heathens. So they're saying neither shall one trust another. Right? So that trust is like kill. We will not kill each other by accident. If you do, the research, you will see. I think the other day Iran bombed up one of their own plane by mistake. They thought it was somebody else. So things like that. We will not kill each other by accident. I won't pull up my knife and stab her by accident. Oh gosh, I killed my mistake. Those things that's happening in the world. But in the UPK, under the spirit of the Lord, we won't kill each other by accident. So we won't run over somebody by accident. You understand? There'll be a whole stampede that we running. In the Middle East, in Mecca, the people that's died, millions of them Arabs that's died going to worship the rock in Mecca. You understand? But when we run in that stampede, none of we won't kill each other by accident. We won't trust one another. You understand? The thing will have none of that. Yeah, so I'm here. Go ahead.
They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Right? So they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall by the sword, they shall not be wounded. Right? So again, we won't kill each other by accident. Right? These things here just happen to people in the world, but not in the ISGPK. When they say they shall walk everyone in his path, they're just talking about, we're not breaking the ranks. We just go in, we killing, we conquering. Right? And nothing will kill us. Right? Again, just like in them zombie movies, when they say, in verse 8, when they say, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning nothing is going to harm us. Just like in them zombie movies, they're shooting the zombie falling on the zombie dead. So, bombs, swords, knives, guns, bullets, nothing will be harming us. In those days, nothing at all will harm us. We will not fall by no sword, we will not be wounded. Alright, go ahead.
Ye shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall.
Right, so we're going to run to and fro in the city. We're running. You understand? No shortness of breath. We're going to what I say? We should run upon the wall. So just like in a Matrix movie, you see them running up on the wall. Again, the white man gets all his TV shows from within the Bible. He got rich, all his movies, his TV shows, he got rich from within the Bible and created the movies out of that. You understand? So, I mean, some people can run on wars right now. You understand? Some people can run on wars right now. You understand? There are some brothers who could do that right now. You know, so we're going to have this spirit of the Lord going to be with us also. So, apart from running on the walls, you know, we might end up walking on the walls and all too. We might be walking on the spirit of the Lord to be there with us. You know, right now, some brothers could run on the walls. So imagine when the Lord is with us, how we could be running on that wall. You understand? We will be coming for them healings. They can't stop us because the Lord is going to be with us. You understand? Go ahead.
Ye shall climb up upon the house. Ye shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Right, so we're going to enter those windows like thieves. You know, we're going to climb upon them houses just like spider. Or them spiders as we crawl upon the walls, you know, nothing going to be stopping us. We're climbing up on them walls like spiders, you know. Who knows? There will the white man will get Spider-Man movie from, you know, reading the Bible again. You understand? We're going to break in them walls. We're going to enter the windows like a thief, climbing up them walls. Kick down the windows, you know, coming in like a thief. They're trying to hide from us, but they ain't gonna hide. They're trying their best to hide, but they can't hide. You understand? They can't hide at all. You understand? So yeah, go ahead.
The earth shall quake before them.
The earth shall quake before them. You know? And even to some of us, who knows, some of us might even fly in those days. You know, we're running on the walls, we're climbing up the walls. Some of us might even fly in those days when the Spirit of the Lord is with us. You understand? The earth shall quake. Meaning what? The earth will quake means everywhere we go, the heathens will know the Israelites is coming. You understand? They're going to hear it. They're going to know everywhere we go, the heathens, and they're going to know, hey, the Israelites coming. Bro. The Israelites coming. And they're going to be scared to death. You understand? They're going to be scared. So, as I'm saying here, the earth shall quake before them. You know, they're going to be talking amongst themselves. Hey, y'all didn't see what the Israelites do to Egypt? Hey, boy, I think they're coming here, boy. Yeah, boy. Y'all didn't hear what they do to Syria? Yeah, boy. They say that they mash out the place. They run into the buildings. Nah, boy. They're coming, boy, you know. The earth shall quake before them. You understand? When the heathens see we coming, they're going to be scared because they know the Israelites coming. Go ahead.
The heavens shall tremble. The sun.
The heavens shall tremble. What are they talking about that day? When they say heavens shall tremble, what are they talking about? Joel. When they say heavens, what do you mean by that? The heavens. When they say heavens. Yeah, go ahead. So, talking about rich people, yes. Yeah, I would take that rich people they're talking about. So when they say the heavens shall tremble, of course, they're talking about all the rich people who's on top and over us. You know, all the races on top and over us. You know, the Chinese, you know, the East Indians, the Arabs, all the races on top and over us. The white man, everybody on top and over us. They in heaven. You understand? They in rulership, they in heaven. Heavens will tremble. Those who is rich on top, they will get scared. Again, they will get scared because they know, hey, the Israelites are coming for us. Coming for us, so they will get scared. understand? So all of them, the Queen in England, she, all enjoy the gold right now. That all made off of us. But in those days, all are going to get scared. You understand? All those rich people who's on top, all are going to get scared in those days. Understand? Yeah, go ahead, Amber.
The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
The sun and the moon shall be dark. What are you talking about there? Sun and the moon shall be dark.
So that the day of the Lord.
Yeah, the day of the Lord will be there. So yeah, the sun and the moon shall be dark. What will happen? What is metaphor talking about here? Right, well, when they say the sun and the moon shall be dark, sun and the moon is wisdom and knowledge, right? So when they say the sun and the moon shall be dark, it wouldn't have no wisdom and knowledge. It will have a lack of wisdom and knowledge. When they're talking about the sun and the moon. So if it's dark, it will have a lack of wisdom and knowledge. So people will be, like if the sun out, they might say, all right, I know where to go now. The sun up. I know where to go. I know where east says, I know where west says. The sun out. But the sun and the moon shall be dark. It ain't got no wisdom and understanding. So people won't know what to do. People will get confused. They won't know, all right, I wonder if I should sleep now, but if I shouldn't sleep now. It's daytime now, it's nighttime now. They won't know. They will have a lack of wisdom and understanding. You understand? They won't understand what to do. They're going to be confused. Nobody will know what to do. You understand? But what they're going to know is the Israelites coming for them. That is what they're going to know. You understand? They will be confused. They don't know what to do. But they're going to know the Israelites coming for them. Alright, so yeah, go ahead.
And the Lord shall utter.
No, after the sun and the moon shall be dark. Yeah.
And the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Right, the stars shall withdraw their shining. Where's the stars? Where's the stars? The stars in this context is talking about who's that star today in Trinidad? Bungie Garland is a star. Fayan Lands is a star. Destra Garcia is a star. Wagi is a star. Another country. You see, Jay-Z is a star. Mel Gibson is a star. Who again? All those stars. Marshall Montano in Trinidad. All those stars, they shall withdraw their shining. So all the rich and famous people. Marshall Montano, Jay-Z, Fayan Lands, Mel Gibson, Donald Trump himself, is a star. In those days, the stars shall withdraw their shining. They won't be shining again. You understand? Those stars who used to be shining, who are just called, in those days, you understand? In that time, you understand? Which is coming soon. They're not going to be shining no more. All they're going to be doing is starting to run and hide from the Israelites. You understand? Those famous people, all they're going to be doing is starting to run and hide. They ain't going to be studying, they're famous anymore. They just sing this, they have all this hotel, and they just act in these movie shows. They ain't going to be studying that no more. They're just going to be studying, I need to run and hide from these Israelites. You understand? My time is up. I need to run and hide from these Israelites. You understand? Both the Israelites who siding with the heathens and the heathens. You understand? So you Israelites who siding with the heathens are better come in, because you know, as the Lord has always said, 2/3 go and get cut off. You understand? So they come in the ISGP can learn the breakdowns and the truth about the Bible, because the time is coming very soon. The last days is coming very soon. As we see now, celebrities even saying, we as Israelites. You understand? The white man trying to keep it secret so that they're firing you for saying you're Israelite, but the truth is coming out. You understand? So I'm good. I'm Barrett.
And the Lord shall utter his voice.
And the Lord shall utter his voice. What are you talking about that, Daddy? What do you mean by that? The Lord shall utter his voice, go ahead, before his army.
Before his army.
Right. So what do you mean by that? The Lord shall utter his voice before his army. What do you mean by that?
I guess like that more or less, like,
Sure.
more or less everybody will be hearing the word.
Everybody going to be hearing the word of the Lord, or every command we get is going to be from the Most High. Right? Every command we get is going to be from the Most High. And every command we get is going to be from the Most High. Go ahead.
For his camp is very great.
Right? For his camp is very great. We're speaking about it. For his camp is very great. So every command we get is going to be from the Lord, for his camp is very great. We're speaking about it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is this speaking about John 44? Because they're taking instructions from both sides. It's the command.
Remember the 144,000 is just the government. Right? They're going to have more than that. The 144 is just the government of Israel. Right? But you're going to have more than that. So what are speaking about here? Right, this is the ISUPK here, right? His camp is very good. This is talking about the ISUPK. Right? Now, when they say the camp is great, it was like, okay, we're the first ones to say that we have camp. We're the first ones to say we have camp. You know, we just go out on the streets and we just teach and we just have camp. You know, the scriptures say, you know, in those days, you know, we're not going to teach, but we're going to hunt. That is scriptures say. You know, we ain't going to teach, but we're going to hunt. That is scriptures say, right? So now, in knowing that we ain't going to teach, but we're going to hunt, what I mean, you know, it means we're going to go and call our hunting trips camp. So all our hunting trips, we call it camp. So alright. So the orders, alright. You go into the Middle East. Alright, you go to North Carolina, hunt them out from there. Right? You have camp in North Carolina, hunt them out. You have camp in the Middle East. You go Antarctica. They feel like they hide in the cold weather. We come in there and we hunting them out of there. Go Antarctica. You understand that? That is camp. You have camps wherever you hunting. When you hunting, that gonna be called camp. You understand? That is scripture say, right? So you know, and of course, all of that gonna be too. You know how we just go up in the rank school. So you know, right? So one brother might bring back about two captives. Because you know, it gonna be slavery. In that time, it gonna be slavery. The kingdom of heaven is slavery. So one brother might bring up just about two white man and an East Indian. And next brother I gonna bring back about 10 East Indians and 6 white men. You understand? So all that do is just make you go up. You know, you go have the ranks too in those times. So hunting trips across the earth go be we camp. That go be we camps. That's what they say for, because it's an army they're talking about here. There's the Lord's army. Then they say his camp is very great. We're going out for them, hunting them. That is we camp. You understand? So we in UPK, you know, we started this, and you know, that is what they're talking about. So yeah, go ahead, Barrett. You're talking about.
For he is strong that executed his word.
Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
Right. So now we in the UPK, we strong, and we under oppression. Right now we strong, and we under oppression. So you know, you could imagine how we would be when we're not under oppression. Right? So when they say we strong and that executed the word, we ain't gonna be under oppression in those days. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the spirit of the Lord gonna be with us, and we go have supernatural powers. So imagine now we strong right now and we under oppression. You can imagine we not under oppression. How we gonna be in those days? We have supernatural powers. You understand? You know, and the Lord is terrible. The Lord is terrible. If you look up what that word terrible is, it's not something nice. You understand? So you know, all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who still Christians, you understand, who still want to worship Mother Lakshmi and Egyptologists, who still want to be in rival gangs. You know, all come out of those rival gangs. You know, all come out of the church, come out of the mosque, the pundit. You understand? Stop worshiping a rock. Come into the ISUPK under commanding General Hannah, only we alone. It's only here alone you could see these powers amongst black people. You ain't going to see these powers amongst black people in the Quran or in the Bhagavad Gita. You ain't going to see those powers there for black people. You understand? It's only here in the ISUPK when you're reading your records in the Bible. Because your records, black man, was written in this Bible. Your records, Hispanic man and Native Indian man, was written in this Bible. But you could only get the breakdown in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. You understand? Master, I get nothing online, right? Question online, right? Read verse 12 and Barrett. Let me hear.
Verse 12. Therefore also now, saints, the Most High, turn ye even to me with all your heart.
Yeah, go ahead, Barrett.
And with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning.
Right, so therefore also now said the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your hearts, with fasting, weeping, and mourning. Why the Lord saying that? Because the Lord know that day is going to be a terrible day. The Lord said it himself. Nothing? Alright, no sweat. 2/3 is going to be cut off. But you know, the Lord, He is a living, breathing God. He wants us to change other ways. He's giving us time, that grace period. Giving us that grace period. I'll come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You Hispanic, you are part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel from Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Venezuela. All is the lost 12 tribes of Israel. All is our brothers and sisters. You understand? Anybody have any questions? That is it? Anybody to have? Alright. So, with that, let's pass the class over to Priest and Officer Tazo.
Go say our hand again. Security announcements. We are the ISCPK out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under Command of General Yana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ashera, 10% of every penny of any increase. The Lord gives you. You give to the church department or teacher. Priest one, for your offering for priests, not mandatory. What's the amount you would like to give? Upcoming holy convocation. Alright? 1 second. Alright, the upcoming holy convocation is the feast as the memorial of blowing of trumpets. Alright. And you can find this. This will be on September the 17th. This is September the 17th at sundown. You find it in Leviticus chapter 23. Definitely. That's nice. Right? Find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 to 25. Alright. You might not get. Hold on. What's the mic? Right? You might Akim and Avwatian, which means brothers and sisters in Hebrew. To check on social media such as ICBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all the social media platforms you're on, and so on for ICBK events and materials like the if you're in New York or in the States, there are family in the States where the case is in August, I think it's the 19th, if I'm mistaken, either 19th or somewhere around there, or the 27th. Let's check on the website. ICBK headquarters in New York. Alright, Captain Desire Kennedy will be hosting the annual cookout. Alright, so you want to reach out there and find out the link with the brothers and sisters, find out more about the schools, find out, the link with the generals and the leaders in the school, and the men on down, and come and see what family about, see what the ICBK doing on the ground as well, alright? If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, which means he want to start to prepare himself to do the work of the Lord, alright, and raise up his community, come and help fix the society, right? Then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf, alright, like this, all black, alright? And with that we say Imagine, which means to stand, and then Lapanya Kodam, which means to turn and face the east. We set up the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew first, alright? Abanao, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabaha, Ratazak, Ayah, Bashamayim, Tananao, Yawam, Wasalaknao, Kabobatnao, Kasalaknao, Kabobatnao, Wala'a, Tabayaino, Manasayawan, Abal, Awashaino, Mayan, Ra, Ayah, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Pataparat, Aman.
The English of this said was our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts, we forgive our debtors, lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it.
Alright, this is the prayer for the blessing that you all structure in the school. Rakata Yahawa, Ayawashai, Amakala, Awalahai, Matazabiha, Alawapiahan, Alawapiam, Asraniam, Akodazaniam, Akieliniam, Akwatiam, Yahawa, Bashem, Yawashai, Wadaman.
The English what we said was bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh and Michael, and the angel, Commander General Yohanan, General, Captain, Officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it.
Alright, it's the prayer for the powers for the Hakaka in Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, Nathanael, Aka, Rabah, Kalmakala, Kalmanawa, Haka, Lataha, Amatazarium, Haka, Laquayam, Amathiam, Haka, Arakwat, Atamal, Garsham, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Tuanam.
What he said in English was Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. All manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Say, I should get Christians. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. All things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Like prophets. The teachers. The princes. Priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose. The church of the rich of Israel. That refuse to give to the school. Force their riches. To enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nation. And the drug dealer. The court system. Prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemy. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Kozikumatazi. Gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA Space Program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. Cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us. Bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way. But try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth. Consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let the Yahushua, my God, come down with the flying sword and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you all. So be it.
Alright, the prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew first, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Braklanam, Aishal, Abaya, Sapari, Barak, Rabah, Magan.
Pasiankovi, Tashika Kila, Kabawad, all the brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth. All the brothers and sisters in the truth.
Commander General Yohana, all the generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, all 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, brothers and sisters fighting to come in truth. All the families of ISCP and Tobago, all the families of ISCP throughout the world, Aitisha,
Commanding General Yana, General, Captain, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all the destroyed of Israel, Kyle Wana, Arap Napash, Shariah, Kintian family, Osanan family, Nikuto family, Philip family.
General, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, Destroyer of Israel, ISUPK and Tobago, ISUPK worldwide,
Commanding General, Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all destroyed of Israel, I speak it children and our families, I speak it worldwide and all our families. Next month. Commanding Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all destroyed of Israel. John family, Alexis family, Nikoto family.
All the brothers and sisters in ISUPK.
All the brothers and sisters in ISUPK.
All the brothers and sisters fighting coming through.
All the brothers and sisters fighting coming through.
Training the ISUPK.
ISUPK.
Francois family.
Wrong
family. Zion. Wesleyan. Daniela. Jamelia. Ima. Khadija. Trisha. Ashida. Chantel. Angel. Mylan.
All the brothers and sisters in the ISUPK.
All the brothers and sisters in ISUPK.
Commanding General Yana, Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, and mercy on the destroyed of Israel. Watch over ISUPK Global, the Bawa, Aliyah, Alicia, Teresa.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Tawada Aman.
What we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel, and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect all of us. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it.
Beneficial Psalm, which means the turn. Beneficial, you're going to give this teacher one Kudisi salute. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh
Hashem Shabbat.
Yajimata. Beneficial, you're going to give the sisters online a Kudisi salute. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yajimata. Class dismissed.